Hello, welcome to Miemie's Keepsakes. I'm Arnell. We are back with the 100-day project. It's day 35 and it is floating pockets. And these are pretty big, roomy pockets, which are great. They can be just paper clipped into a journal or obviously glued into the journal, depending on what you want to do, or send them as happy mail. There's so many uses for these, and they're again very easy to make. So first of all, for these you will need, depending how big you want your pocket, but I would say bigger pieces of scrap paper or printed paper, scrapbook paper, book pages, anything but a little larger, I would say, rather than too small. So let's start and see what we can come up with. So I have some printed papers here. Let's start with this one. I think this one is Ruby and Pearl. I'm not sure which, but I'm thinking, don't quote me on that. So all you're going to need to do is, because I'm not using cardstock or lightweight cardstock. Tina was using a lightweight cardstock. I'm thinking if you want to use this as maybe storage pockets, she uses these envelopes a lot with just a little tab, and then she has her ephemera fussy cut pieces in these pockets. I know that's what she does with them. So if you want to do that, then maybe you do need a lightweight cardstock, but I'm going to use the 32-pound papers again. And because I'm going to do that, I am just going to fold it over, and just to strengthen this part of my envelope or pocket where I'll be putting things and taking them out, just to strengthen it. And what I like to do is just use my ruler to get a straight fold, and even then I don't always get a straight fold. So that those two folds are simply to straighten or to strengthen my envelope. Okay. And then I'm going to fold it over, get them to match up. So now this pocket will end up more or less the size, because I've used one single page of paper for that one too. And then all you do is make a fold, and this is a lot how we did when we made envelopes. Just fold it over. And fold it over again. Oops. And because we're going to make a gusset, just make sure that your folds are more or less the same, I think. Excuse my arm. I want to do this one, I folded it over too much, so let's make it just a teeny tiny smaller. I need to clean my scissors again. Okay, so now we're going to make the folds. Because I have this extra fold here and I don't want bulk, you're going to cut that out, just like we did the envelopes, just at an angle. And then on the bottom, oh, this is the top as well. Okay, and then here we're going to just give it a little bit of a slit. In her second video, she didn't do the slit on the bottom, but I find that if you want to make a gusset pocket, you do need that slit on the bottom for the pocket to open nicely. If you don't want to do a gusset, you don't have to do the slits. I've tried without the slits. In fact, I made this one without the slits, this one, and it's not, the gusset doesn't really open as nicely. So I do think I'm going to take the extra step and make the slits for the gussets. So this is just folding over the tops. Okay, and then for the gusset, you're going to glue these two together, but don't glue it all the way. I say if you don't want a gusset, then obviously maybe the next one we'll make without a gusset. So with this one, you're only putting the glue on the ends here, just there, and then fold it over. And then if you open, oh, it just needs to dry, but when you open it, it will make a little gusset. Okay, I'm going to leave that to dry. It looks like I didn't fold. This one needs to come in a little bit. I didn't fold it straight or something. Anyway, there. Yes, that's better. Okay, and that's your floating pocket. So like I say, this would most probably be just added to your paper or your journal and just paper clip it in. Or if you're selling journals, this is a nice way actually to send some little pieces of scrap paper or extra ephemera for them to add to the journal, the buyer. So let's make one without the gusset, and I'm gonna use one big page again, and excuse me, just the top folds to strengthen my pocket. And the other thing to remember as well, when you're picking papers, the easiest way would be to not have you know, like writing, because one side would be right side up, and the other side will be upside down. But there, you know, if that doesn't bother you, then go ahead. Doesn't bother me. You can always add decorations onto that, or you can, so we'll make one without a gusset. And usually I follow Tina's instructions, even if I have a different method, but I didn't like the way the pocket sat if you're not doing a gusset and not gluing everything. I glued mine. Anyway, let's do it this way and I'll show you. So when I'm not doing a gusset, I will cut this entire flap off, I think, again, just to save on bulk, number one. And number two, the way that she did it, I just didn't like the way my flaps sit inside my pocket. So, you know, whenever you're watching these and you have a different way of doing it, it's all good. Just go ahead and do whatever way suits you. Okay, and so this time I'm going to just close down this top flap again, just to reinforce my pocket. This way. So yeah, and then just glue this shut, just like an envelope, just you don't have the envelope flap. Okay, and your pocket is done. Okay, so let's mass make some of them and bring in some other papers. So I picked out a couple of just plant books, This one has writing on it, so obviously it will have a side that has the writing go the right way, and if I flip it over, this would be upside down. Totally fine by me. I also picked a couple of gardening books. So this one has, so what I kept in mind is I want an image on one side at least that's not upside down. And I picked these because they would kind of fill the front side. And the same with this one, it will fill up my front image. So these I'm just going to cut straight, and because this is thicker paper, I'm not going to use it as a, you know, I'm just going to either glue it into my journal, or I am going to have it as a floating pocket. I don't think I will reinforce these. This paper, yeah, is thick enough, I think. Just gonna clean up the sides because I haven't done that yet. And of course you can decorate both sides because it is a floating pocket. The other thing you can do is, instead of decorating both sides, maybe decorate the front, and then on the back glue some coffee dyed paper or lined paper so you can write what's inside your pocket. You can always do that as well too. These pockets are perfect if you have a lot of, maybe say, photos from one weekend or trip. Just going to make these folds for these, so I'm not going to reinforce them. Which one do I want? This one, I think. Like that little piece, you can just add a ruffle or a, no, basically anything. So here I have some ledger, and I think it's a little bit too big. I do need to reinforce it. Going to tear that off. You can always use that for decoration, and maybe we will make it a little smaller. And this one I definitely am going to reinforce the sides. So that's when we mass on. There's a little tear, but I can fix that with some washi or something. Let's just do, okay, let's get into mass making mode. Let's just get a couple of pieces that we can use. I have some scraps here. This one might be too small. That one might work. Okay, this one, let's make a couple of smaller ones. So if it goes, yeah, okay. Excuse me, I had some papers that I forgot to, you know, press landscape, and it printed portraits, so it has big white gaps. Let's find, this one. Shall we make this one just a big one? Just trying to get different sizes. This one, let's make this one smaller. And we already have like a really small one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more. Shall we do this one? Just normal. Okay, yes. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do all the same folds. So I've already done that one. The other ones didn't need folds. Okay, and yes, we're doing day 35 of the 100-day project. So the 100-day project is just you commit to doing a small art or craft project for 100 continuous days, which most people will either decide on like a theme, maybe do 100 envelopes, or do just 100 days of journaling. And not everybody has it on YouTube. There's a lot on Instagram. Not sure about Facebook. I haven't seen any on Facebook. I decided to do, I've always wanted to follow along with Tina's mass making sessions that she has once a week. So I decided that this is the perfect opportunity for me to do that, and in the process accumulate ready-made ephemera, so I can just add it to my journals and you're not starting your journal from scratch. Now I know when I started with junk journaling, I thought, why do you need 5 pockets? That's more or less the same thing. And I know, but if you're doing, even if you're just journaling in your own personal junk journal, I find a lot of times I would sit down and I just have half an hour and I just want a tag and a pocket to write something on. I don't have time to make tags and pockets tonight. You know, I just want to sit down, write, and move on. So then the ready-made things obviously are a very good thing to have, because you can sit down and just quickly write, or if you're on vacation and you don't want to take 1,000 things with you to write in your journal, if you have the ready-made stuff that you can take with you, that is perfect. The other thing is, if you're making journals to sell, it is great to have these on hand, because again, it just streamlines the whole process. You might still need to make 3 or 4 pockets or 5 tags or whatever, but everything is just a little faster. Why am I doing that? If you have ready-made ephemera. So, you know, it sounds like a crazy thing to do, and I haven't done mass making for the longest time because, well, number one, I didn't have time. And which way was I going? That one, I'll do it this way. I didn't have time for mass making. I was just busy making journals, selling them, and trying to keep up with everyday things. Whereas I think this is really great. The 100-day project gives me the option of just building up my stash of finished ephemera. And what I also find great, if you want to follow along, Tina has a lot of pockets, and I am really bad at making pockets. I always make the same kind of pocket. So this just gives you more ideas and more, you know, new things that you wouldn't normally do, which is great. Okay, so let's do, maybe I have too many here, I'm not sure. Now we'll do the gusset folds. And maybe some of them I'll make with gussets and other not. This one I might not, because then I have the opportunity to cut this piece off that has a tear in it. There, I might do that. How did I fold this that it's not straight at all? I even followed the lines on the paper. Okay. Maybe it's the tear. Yeah, oh, it's because I followed the wrong line. Okay, there, that's better. And these needs the folds, even though I'm not making the top folds. They do need the side folds to form the gusset. And again, these are perfect for happy mail for sure. And if you add a decorated paper clip, I am obsessed with the decorated paper clips, that I have to say at the moment. If you add a decorated paper clip like on these, do you need anything more to decorate them? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Oh yes, and I am doing the draw on 50 days for those of you who leave comments. I think I'm going to I do like the writing more, but maybe we'll just fold this one on the top just to get rid of that white margin on the top. The other ones didn't have that, but I just feel like I don't like that. Oh, the 50-day giveaway. So on day 50, I will draw some names. Not sure how many at the moment, maybe one, maybe two. And in the giveaway, what you will receive is an envelope filled with ephemera that I've made during the first 50 days of the 100-day project. And I'll really try to stuff the envelopes depending on how much I can get in there. Why am I not getting this straight? Anyway, so if you are a subscriber to my channel and you leave a comment regularly, then I will add your name to the draw. I have, with the last video, I did add everybody's names up, and I try to kind of do like at whatever your name is to link it directly to your YouTube, so that YouTube account, and then you will be notified if maybe you didn't watch a video. But and your name can be in the draw more than once, so the more you comment, the more times you will be entered into the draw. So each day I kind of pick somebody's name that I've seen commented before. So I am not doing a great job of folding straight. How is that possible? Anyway, let's see. So for today, I picked Daydreaming to Create, and Cheryl again. Cheryl, I think you comment every day, so thank you so much for your support. And I also want to say a special hello to my friend Betty. Betty, I hope you're having a great day. I'm thinking of you, and I hope things are going well for you. Take care of yourself and your family, and I hope things are soon better. So okay, we're still folding. So my video is late today. I am so sorry. I usually record the day before, so if the video is on shows airs on Tuesday, I would have recorded that video on Monday during the day, and then edit it at night and post it. Anyway, yeah, I didn't have a great day yesterday. In fact, I had a terrible day, so I just didn't feel like talking honestly or recording. My dog Bentley started feeling sick over the weekend, and then I had to take him actually to the pet hospital an hour away, so I spent the whole day there, and when I got back I was just physically and emotionally totally exhausted. It just wasn't a good day. Anyway, he had to stay there overnight, and they phoned this morning, and because I was thinking I'll go pick him up. He's feeling better, and so I'll go pick him up after lunchtime, and then he can come home and we'll find out what's wrong as soon as all the tests and stuff are done. Okay, so now we'll do the cuts. Yes, not a great day. And I'm just going to do the top cuts like this. Maybe the smaller one I will not make a gusset envelope because you won't be adding that much stuff to it. And maybe I'll just cut this piece off. And like I say, this can be a very versatile part of, like, even if you're just sending happy mail, mass making is a good idea as well, because then, you know, you're not sitting there for hours making something to mail out, because if you're swapping with somebody, there's usually a deadline for that, and I find that, you know, if you're busy day-to-day things, it's just easier if you have things finished, if you ask me. And I'm just cutting this at an angle just so I have a little bit less bulk there. And let's make this one not gusseted either. Okay, and then this one, I need to cut that away for sure, because that piece is torn, and I might just add some washi or lace or something to the side of this, because it is an old piece of ledger. And it's definitely a little bit fragile. Okay, and these ones are good. This one I need to do the tops. I'm thinking while they're folded open, let's do gluing, but I buried my glue bottle somewhere. There, I found it. Let's glue the top shut, the fold overs. Then I'm not. Let's just do the gluing, and I still need to cut the bottom piece off, but let's just do that. And we're just touching the envelopes once and we're done with them. Okay. Oops. Wrong way. You only glue one side for the gusset. Fold it over and just leave it. If you want to make sure it is glued tight, you can always add some paper clips to make sure your gusset stays shut, or put it underneath a stack of books or in a paper press. But I don't think it is necessary if you use a good wet glue. You can always use those double-sided tape strips as well for this. I think it might be, you just make sure you maybe use this, the slimmer, skinnier one. Yeah, and don't try to open them until they're dry. Let's do one like Tina did. So Tina didn't cut on her second video. She didn't cut the ends. Let's see. Okay, it needs to dry first. But we'll remember that it's this flower one that we did that to. Okay, this one doesn't get a gusset. And you know, if it's not totally straight and perfect, I mean, you can always measure, but you know, I'm too lazy to measure. Then it makes crafting feel like a job if I have to measure. So this one, because there's not a gusset, I'm going to put glue on the entire flap. And if it's not perfect, then, you know, add some lace or a ribbon or whatever you can to hide the imperfections. And it is a handmade product. I feel like there should be a little bit of imperfections to make it look handmade and not made by a machine. Otherwise, we could save ourselves a lot of trouble and just go buy envelopes and cut the flap off, and you have a huge floating pocket. You can always do that as well, but I think this is just so much more fun than buying. So I think I've said on the weekend I don't want to jinx us, but I think we have spring. My flowers, like my bulbs, are definitely, all of them are now, none of them are blooming yet, but they have leaves and it looks like there's life. So we are working in the garden as much as possible, especially my husband more than I, because I still have a bit of a cough. My cold is gone, but I'm still coughing. So when I'm doing a lot of physical things, I start coughing. Like even just walking up and down the stairs, I'm coughing. I don't know. It's just like a residual COVID thing. Everybody says it can take, like my aunt told me it took her 3 months to get rid of her cough. I hope that doesn't happen to me, honestly. But yeah, what can you do? It's all good. Okay. For the gusset effect. And you know, if you have a gusset, it just adds a little bit more room to add things to your pocket. It just makes your pocket more roomy. And I'm just using my fabric tag today because I had to clean up my art glitter glue bottle again. I don't know why I'm so messy, but I am. And I just don't like it when it gets that messy and sticky, and it just doesn't look pretty. I think I should get a second bottle of the art glitter glue, of those little bottles, so when I'm cleaning it out I have a second bottle available, because I do use it every day. I might as well get another bottle, I think. Cut the little slits here. I did make one without slits. In Tina's first video she put the slits in the second video she didn't. I just feel without the slits that gusset part are just kind of sitting in the way of adding things to your pocket. And maybe you don't like the gusset part either and you decide not to make them if you're following along. It's all whatever, you know, whatever you like best and whatever works for you. Okay. Oops. Forgot to cut this one. Yeah, I've been following along with Cindy from Studio Lou. She's doing MassMake March. She has some wonderful ideas. If you want to head over to her. I was planning to do that for Instagram or Facebook, but I just know if time, I was just probably, I don't even know what I was thinking, because I don't have time for another project as well, because in the background I am still organizing my craft room and I am organizing my digitals at night, just trying a major organization here. I was hoping I'll be done before spring comes, but I'm not, so I'll just keep going. So this was my prototype. We made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these pockets. Just give me a second, I just want to cough. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. So let's decorate like something like this. Like I said, I would probably, let's do this one quickly. I don't think I'll add a lot to it. Let's just add a small piece of lace. I don't have anything thinner, do I? No. Okay, and I do want it white. I don't want it a different color. Okay, let's do this. Oh, and of course the boulders or excavators are back today. Just here to drive me nuts, I'm pretty sure. And it is a huge building project going on just below our house. And so I'm thinking we're gonna listen to this all through the summer probably. Can't see that it would stop before then. I just have this label. It's a little too big. That one would be too big too. Excuse my arm. I'm just in the habit of leaving my things here on this side of my desk. And I did rearrange my desk, but I still need to get out of that habit. So I'm thinking just a little label there. And let's see what's in this box. I've been fussy cutting like crazy every night. And so I just have them in boxes. Haven't even, that might just add a little bit of texture there. This just came from a spine. I have this one too. Might, okay. Let's just do that. Just to give it a little bit extra. And that should be enough. Because this image is already so pretty, I don't think we need more than that. Anyway, so yes, I've been fussy cutting to have enough things to decorate all these projects that I'm doing every day. But so as fast as I'm cutting them, I'm using them up, so I don't even have time to organize and put them away. So there is my gusset. As you can see, it opens up a little bit bigger. Don't want to pull too tight on it because it's not totally dry yet. And that is all we're going to use to decorate that one. Let's see another one. Let's do like this one. I'm thinking, even if you simply add, I have this piece of sorry silk sitting here. If you have a floating pocket, and I'm just always fighting with the strings on the sorry silk. If you have a floating pocket like this and you do not want to use a paper clip to close it, if you just tie a ribbon or like, look, this paper is so pretty. I honestly don't even think you need a label or anything on here. But if you just tie it with a string or a sorry silk or ribbon, satin ribbon. And then the added bonus is, again, if you, and I do like to do this, if you just paper clip this onto your page, the ribbon piece would just peek out of the side of your journal, and that looks pretty too. So done and dusted. Which one do we want to decorate? Let's find one. Let's do this one. Okay. And we have both sides are pretty. And of course, if you're doing both sides, I would say keep it one side at, and maybe both sides fairly flat. Don't go crazy or too crazy with ruffles and things. And while I'm saying that, I'm looking for a ruffle. But I'm thinking for this one, if you add a ruffle on the bottom, and usually I will cut this off, but this one is not too thick, because a lot of times this adds a lot of bulk, but I think this one would be fine for this. And the other thing is, if you add the ruffle on the top, that's the top of my envelope, if you add the ruffle here, obviously, and you paper clip it to your page, then that ruffle will stick out as well. But I want to do this one on the bottom. So this side I'm going to keep fairly just not a lot of decoration. And then it also gives me, if you decorate both sides, it gives you options on which one you want on the front. Let's see if we can find something to put on the front. Let me just move these away. And I'll need a little bit of bigger image for the front here. That's too big. That might work. It's a little too dark. Have these. It's too big. can always cut it smaller, I suppose. There's another one. These are just some calling cards that I printed. And the other image was from a book. Okay, let's see. I do think, but I have to cut that one smaller. And I kind of want it to go with what's going on in the front. I think I'm gonna go with this one. And I can even cut this smaller. I don't know why. Maybe it was the way it printed, but only 3 sides have this beige edge. So let's get rid of that so 4 sides look the same. And have this. Maybe some of this can go in the back. And I even have a strip of this left. No, it's not the right color. So let's do this. Let's just tear some of this off. See how that looks. Something like that. And where did I put that ledger? Oh, we've cut off there. Maybe some ledger here. Don't like the blue with it. Oh, I have this. I've taken a piece of embroidery out of the frame, and this was behind it. You know, at the back when they glue this brown paper on the back. I need a bigger piece. This price is even sitting there on the back still. Let's see if we can. Okay, got rid of some of it. Okay. Excuse me. No, this might be too big. Yes, let's just get rid of some of it until we have the right size. And do we want that on the bottom? Maybe something like that. Like this. Yes, I think that's better. Okay. And so sorry. Nope. I just need a little something more. Don't ask me what. That is just too big. It seems like all the labels I have is too big. I need to cut smaller labels again. So let's see what I have in this box here. There's a stamp. Oh, there's a cute little label. These are all, I think, too big. See, I always use my small labels up first. We are constantly making small things. Okay. I am busy fussy cutting, and then when I'm done fussy cutting or tired of fussy cutting, I start making clusters, because that's the other thing I use up a lot. Okay. So I'm constantly fussy cutting and then using up what I fussy cut that night usually. Maybe we want it this way. Just, yeah, that's better. I just wanted that to make a corner. And the other thing that happened to us, well, not to us, to my daughter, when she was driving home on Friday, a driver rammed her from behind, and I don't know what he was doing, because maybe he was playing on his phone, because she says they were at a red light and they were just waiting for the light to turn green, and so both of them with him were, you know, stopped or standing still, not driving, and then suddenly he just drove into her. So I'm thinking he might have been, you know, not maybe playing on his phone or checking something quickly on his phone, and his car wasn't in park, and he lifted his foot, because we have mostly automatic vehicles here. I don't know, because that's, oh, I forgot about this. That's just strange. But anyway, luckily they weren't driving fast, so the damage isn't too much. But what's weird is, so we started phoning around, which way I wanted it this way, to get the car fixed. And we phoned several places in town, and they all said that it would take several months. Like, the place that we found eventually with the shortest waiting time, the car will be fixed in June. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Anyway, so she can still drive with her car, but the boot, the back part is totally ruined. It can't close anymore. They taped it up, so I don't know. Her car is standing at the university in a parking lot, so I don't know how safe that would be, if it would be stolen. So I don't know what she'll do until the end of April. Maybe she'll just be without a car until then, and we'll just have to go pick her up when she comes home. That's all I can think, because I don't think it would be safe to leave the car the way it is, even if it's taped up, because I'm pretty sure somebody wants to, they would be able to steal the vehicle out of that parking lot. Anyway, we'll have to think about that. I did drop the vehicle off today. So much fun. And I have to go pick it up a little later for them to assess and do all they need to do, all the fun stuff. Anyway, it's been an eventful couple of days. I would be happy to report that nothing is happening if I don't have to report stuff like this. But anyway, it's all good. It happens. That's just the way life is. So anyway, let's recap what we did today. We made, I can't remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one we decorated on both sides very quickly on this side. I mean, I can still add something else if I feel that I want to. I'll think about it. 11, 12, and this one was the prototype. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let's get the decorated ones out so you can look at them one last time. Thank you for watching, and I hope to come back tomorrow on regular time, not late, and report that my doggy is doing well. Can't do anything about the car at this point. And I hope all of you are doing well. Betty, take some time, rest. We're thinking of you. And then I will talk to you again tomorrow. Remember, if you want to be part of the draw, then leave a comment, and you have to be a subscriber as well. And thank you for everybody so far that has left comments, for your support and your encouragement. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.